loud. We're going to mute this one. Okay, we're gonna start our talk today. We're gonna start. What we're gonna talk about today is Ascension and its tools. That's what we're going to talk about, and the vibration of how we work with that connection within our lives. Ascension, we're talking about moving to a higher consciousness, a higher vibration within our lives. We look at that moving to a higher connection, a higher situation, and using tools. And the tools are most, I have clients that'll be, oh, Lewis, I need that perfect crystal, or I need that specific card, or I need that specific situation to allow myself to move ahead or move higher. And I explain as long as we look within us, within our vibration, within our connection, the only way we are going to raise our vibration, get to that point of the situation, is to believe that we have that connection within our lives. We do. And as we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration around us, around the connection in our auric field. Now, I still in my life, I work with crystals, and I work with vibrations and crystals. I still do that because different crystals have different vibrations, different situations that connect to a higher sense of consciousness, because stones will actually have their own vibration. The higher the vibration of the stone, the higher the situation goes with consciousness. So we have to look at it, what we place in our vibration, because if we do stones and we do, like say, oh, Lewis, I like stones, and we use them as a tool. There's a book that Love My Minerals. There's different books on the market that will tell you what the vibrational rate of the stone is. Then look for the highest vibrational rate. Now, kyanite is a very high vibrational rate. Different stones have very high vibrational, which would be able to be placed in your auric field, and then allows you to pull the power from that. So we're looking with stones, looking for, you don't want a stone in your vibration like hematite, which is going to ground you. And then it got a higher vibrational stone as kyanite, and then think that you're not going to bounce. You're not going to bounce back and forth. So that is a tool that you can use. You can put a large crystal, a large vibrational crystal near you. That will raise the vibration. It will raise the vibration in the space and the room. I use a tool in my life. What I do is I play music in the space. Whether I play whatever music that fits the vibration, like I do, like Louis Hayes, 101 Thoughts, positive thoughts. So there's other things you can't play, but I allow that to play through my space constantly. Just let it play. Back in the background, it plays. It plays in the vibration when I want to clear the space and raise the vibration of the space that I'm in. So that works. That's one of the tools that work. I find out really works, because if you move into a house, you move into a space, especially if it's been a used house or a used space, the people before you have already left their energy within the walls, within the space that you've moved into. Especially if you live in an apartment building. People next door to you, people above you, people aside of you, they have their own energy going on with that wall attached to your wall. What you do is you move this energy of this music or this vibration through the walls. That works really well. And it sets the tone for the space that you're in. We have to realize that where we are constitutes where we're going to be. That's a big key. It's a big vibration. It's like where we are is where we're going to be. Remember that. Because if you place yourself in a very negative situation, it just grows more negativity as you keep moving down that location. If you step away from the negativity and move in a positive area, then that's going to take you in that positive vibration. When I was a kid, people used to say, Lewis, they're going to cut your silver cord. They're going to keep you on the other side, and you're never going to get back to your body. And I used to laugh because I didn't really in my life see a cord. I seen an energy vortex connected to my body. I didn't see a cord though. I don't know what happened to the cord, but I never saw it. I saw the inner vortex connected to my body. But I have those 10 to 15 guides that follow me that are protecting me when I do astral traveling or I leave my physical body to travel. I have guides, people that protect me as I travel. So no one's going to cut my cord. No one's going to keep me on the other side unless it is time for me to go. If it's time for me to go, then I'm going to, oh, okay, I'm leaving. I have ventured off and hey, but the question is through meditation, through that quietness within your being. For the last 6 months or so, I've been doing affirmations constantly throughout the day. Affirmations to raise the vibration, to raise the vibration. I do them 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. That's what I do. I do these affirmations 3, 4 times a day. And I do them in repetition, like a chant, like a mantra. I do those throughout my day. Every single day, 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6 times a day. I do them in repetition and I keep doing them. I'll do them 3 or more times. I think 3 or more times works because it's body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So if we do this repetition of what we're trying to reinforce and put into our lives, it's this repetition of working with guides to get that ascension, that tool to work in that direction. We have to see the look within, though. That's that quietness. And sometimes we don't want to look within. We don't want to look inside and we don't want to look around the machinery and see what's banging around in there. But we have to, every once in a while, clear the shelves, clear the vibration, get rid of the stuff that no longer resides within our being, within our situation. We could have had things happen 2, 3 years ago, but we don't really need them now. We don't need that energy, that vibration from that situation. So we clear the shelves, we allow it to leave by going within to get out. When we do meditation, it's not that question of doing meditation, of seeing yourself going there. I always explain to individuals to breathe in, take yourself inside the vibration of you. You must go inside to get yourself out. By allowing yourself to become in contact with your breath, with your being, with your heartbeat, with the vibration of you, you allow yourself to go out from you. So when we do this, it's this question of finding what works for you. And I'm a very good proponent of what works for you. Not what really works for me. I mean, the crystal might work for me, this might work for me, that might work for me, but what works for you? Maybe a certain type of music, maybe playing an instrument, maybe something else connects to you to allow you to get into a vibration of energy. So what works for your connection to the higher sense of consciousness? Remember, you're doing your guides, your protectors, your vibrations within your life. They are part of you. No matter what you're doing, what you're putting in motion, what you're possibly doing in a situation, they are definitely going to work with you and connect to your higher sense of consciousness as you move forward. They will. They will move other individuals. When I did a class before, we talked about guides and how they work. You have these specific guides that stay with you, 3 of them that stay with you throughout your life. Your gatekeeper, your physician, your alchemist. They stay with you throughout your whole life. They are part of your guide band. Now, there are other guides will change as your energy, as you move higher up the ladder of consciousness to ascension, you move higher up the ladder, different guides that are part of that level, part of that vibration will now come and contact you because you have moved to that area. Thinking I tell people, maybe you're on the 3rd floor and you're shopping for shoes. You're not going to go up to the 4th floor and shop for suits and have the same person that was trying to sell you shoes up selling you suits. There's a different person on that floor. There's a different vibration on that floor when you enter that space. So as you move higher, you connect to that higher consciousness of energy around you. And sure, guides, family members follow you. If they follow you, they are part of the vibration to help you. But not all family members are not your guides. They are not your protectors or your guides. Or they love you. They have a connection to you, but they are not your guides. They help you down the path. They do their best from the outskirts, but your guides are the one that state and put in motion what sets in motion for you. I had a reading the other day and I told people, I said, it's not the destination. It's not where you think you're going to be. It's how you arrive at the destination is your free will and choice. Ascension is around for everyone. It's this movement to a higher sense of consciousness could play out in everyone's life. But how we make the journey to ascension is up to us. We might stay in one level, burning candles in one little room and trying to talk to spirit in that way. Or we go to a higher sense of consciousness and move past that into something else that actually works for us and allow us to move to that higher sense. And I notice that when I get out of body or I have this feeling of movement, it starts to go out of sync for me. It's like I'm floating. I'm not quite in here, not quite in my vibration, but I know I'm still here, but I'm not quite here. I don't know how to explain that, but I'm just not quite in the vibration. I'm in the process of movement and change, movement and change, movement and vibration. Uh, because because if you listen to certain situations, certain music, maybe you just have Wayne Dyer speaking, and maybe having him doing meditation. I have Wayne Dyer with meditations. I have Louise Hayes. I have this. I have that, and I play that throughout the space. I have a tuning fork that is a G sharp, a G sharp. And by tapping that tuning fork and touching it to the walls, it changes the energy within the house. A G sharp tuning fork will do that. So it's what works for you, what fits the vibration. I love it when people throw salt and they do all this stuff, but it's not really correcting what's in the walls, what's in the space that has been put there. This other stuff does. It radiates within the space. That's why when you go into a church that has beautiful music playing on Sundays and there's beautiful energy going on in the space, every time you walk in that space, you feel this beautiful, oh my God, this is so wonderful here because of the energy of the music and what was done in that space. So what you have to do is listen to you. You. When I talk meditation, I don't tell people, say, oh my God, you need to go out and buy all these tapes. I don't. What I do is I explain to you, you should make one tape for yourself. Get a recorder, get some music in the background, and talk to yourself. Tell yourself where you would like to go. Because you will listen to yourself, tell yourself where to go. You might not listen to somebody else tell you where to go, but you will listen to yourself. It's by doing some kind of meditation tape that you can listen to, that you are telling yourself, this is what I want. Or I have a meditation tape I have that has me just doing affirmations in the tape. I have it. And when I put on my headphones, I sit back and I put my head back, I listen to myself say these affirmations, these chants, these mantras that I do that allows me to clear the vibration, clear the energy. And that's a good tool to use. It's a good vibrational tool to use. By doing some kind of walking meditation, that's a good way. If you can't sit still, you can't do that, do some kind of mantras, do a walking meditation walk and do your mantras, do your talking as you make your exercise, you walk. Works really well. It's what it works. I like giving you tools that will help you because you can ask spirit questions through pendulums, through cards, through whatever tools that you want to use. But really the answer to the questions really comes down to you. It's what you can personally accept. What you can personally accept in the vibration. That's what it comes to. Because when I leave and go to the spirit set of life and I take off and I go, it's always sitting outside these cities. It's never in the cities. It's never on top of the wall. It's always standing outside looking down at the city, sitting with a guide or a master teacher but I'm always there, never in the city. And always told that if I went in the city, I would not be able to return back to this plane of existence. But when I'm on the road to where this city is, I see other people wandering up and down the road. And I know that they're still on this earth plane. They have left their body and they're having this this movement on the spirit side of life to listen to their guides, to listen to people speak to you. And I've always found out that by going deep within yourself, you allow the guides to speak to you, going deep within your being. And that's not something you learn overnight. It's not something you say, oh, I did that overnight. Sometimes it happens automatically, and you just all of a sudden you're there. You've had an out of body experience. You traveled. You had a journey. You had a spiritual awakening. But sometimes it just happens through work, by working at it every day, by sitting still, allowing yourself to sit and be quiet, sit and be still, allowing that to happen. As long as you feel that, then move and move and do something else. Because we come back here with all the skills that we need, all of us. We learn different ways of doing those skills through our life and our family tree. Then we go off on our own in our 18s or 20s or whatever time you decide to go off on your own. Then we start learning from other individuals, a lot from other individuals, because now the family has taken a second seat. Now we're out finding other people to tell us and explain to us how to do what we need to do. Because of your parents, nobody in your family meditated, nobody connected to spirit, nobody decided that. You're probably not going to experience it as much as you would if you were in a family like mine that taught me how to meditate, taught me how to leave my body, taught me how to have these vision quests within my life. Then that taught me different things. It taught me different vibrations. So that's why you always try to attend workshops that are possibly maybe going to take you on a vision quest, take you on a internal spiritual quest. Do something in that vibration. That works very well. It works very well if you allow yourself to attend some of these, to get to teaching things that work for you. Read all the books you need, but don't take everything from the books and say, this has to be gospel. This is gospel. It's not gospel. And everything is going to be gospel for you. Remember that when you're working with spirit and you're working with the vibration. We all work differently. We all work in a different vibration. We all work differently in how we connect to the spirit world. We have different quirks we do, different things we do to connect to that higher sense of consciousness. And by learning, see, when you go to class and you learn classes, there are circles. There's a circle group of people, and we're in a circle. And what you're doing when you're in a class is you're pulling energy from everyone in the circle to allow you to raise your vibration. You might not be able to get there by yourself at home. You might say, Lewis, I'm not going to be able to come. I can't contact. I'm not there. Then you join a group, a circle, so you can meditate, so you can get quiet within a group. And then your energy, your guides will pull energy from the circle, from the group to allow you to move to a higher sense of consciousness. So you're allowing yourself to do that, but take from what you need and move forward. Don't get stuck somewhere doing something that 20 years from now you're going, well, that doesn't work. That's not working at all. But you spent 20 years trying to do it. Something's going to work for you or it won't work for you. It's just very basic. It's going to work or not work. There are things that I've learned that I don't connect. I do not let that clutter the vibration. If it doesn't work for me, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work for someone else. It could work for them, but not going to work for me. So listen to that when you do that, when you put that in motion, make sure that it fits what you're looking for. What your person, see, they're setting goals for your guides. You want to do the Ascension tools and do the tools, quietly ask yourself, what do I need to see with my tools that I need to put in motion and put to use in my life? show me. Allow your guides to show you. Allow them to propel it towards you repetitiously so that you get it. But it's this question of searching, and we're all searching. We're all searching for some kind of connection to spirit, some kind of major connection to spirit. We're searching for that. We're searching, always searching for that pure connection, that connection that brings us to that higher level. And we might not find it through our whole life. We might find tidbits, little bits of it, pieces of it. But eventually we say, oh, that's what it was. That's what they wanted to show me. But if we asked, why did I talk the other day? I said, Jesus said, ask and you will receive, knock and the door will be open. We have to ask. We have to expel to our guides. People can tell me that Lewis, spirit should know what I want. They should know exactly what I want. So why should I have to ask for it? Well, the question is spirit knows what you want, but are you physically and spiritually ready for what they want to give you? That is the question. Are you spiritually ready for that download of information the spirit wants to give you? Sometimes you aren't ready. Sometimes you have not placed yourself in that situation so that you're personally ready for that connection. So then you're mad at spirit because they should know what you want. But if you tell them, explain to them what you need. I do it in affirmations with the I am. I am this. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am this. I am that. I am this. I continually do a repetition of those through my day, through my little prayer and different things I do during the day. I'm repetitious with what I'm asking for. And then if I don't see it, I kind of reiterate that situation with my guides. I keep saying, I am this. I am this. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am abundant. I am blessed. I am. I'm not going to be, not might be, but I am. I am there. I am achieving what I assume that I should be achieving. I am collecting all the information I need in my life that I will ever need to propel me down the path to ascension. I am. So we do those, we do that whole situation, but figure out what works for you. How do you speak? Don't get discouraged with your guides because they haven't answered you right away. As I said, you might not be ready for the download. You might not be quite ready for the download yet. Maybe you're getting yourself ready. That's why you ask your guides, is there something I've missed, something I should be looking at, something I should be putting in motion? Please show me. We have a lot of teachers out in the world now a lot of teachers are teaching or instructing us on how to achieve this in our lives. But sometimes it's looking off at some kind of tool. I had a gentleman the other day we had these little gold bars, little gold stickers. Put them on water, put them on stuff, going to raise your vibration. The symbols looked a lot like the symbols I have on my Buddha Maitreya pyramid. But it's supposed to change all the energy, bring you to higher consciousness, bring you all this stuff in your life. I wish it was that easy. I wish we could just take a little gold sticker, stick it on our third eye, and we're done. Oh, well, we're there. But it's not that easy. It's that repetition, speaking to your guides. It's that connection to that consciousness. I could drink all the holy water I want. I could breathe this beautiful energy my whole life. But if I don't believe that I am healthy, I don't care what I put in my system, I'm not going to be healthy. I have to have that belief system. Remember, when you're asking for things in your life, ask when you have it. Don't ask when you absolutely need it. If you absolutely need something in your life, then you start this kind of begging situation with guides. If you're okay with health-wise right now, ask for perfect health. Or the reason why not. Ask for health now. You're healthy. Ask for it because you're asking, you're not begging for health. Same thing with prosperity. If you got enough money to pay your bills right now, ask for prosperity. Ask for abundance in your life. You might say, Louis, I have enough. I have enough money. Well, ask for whatever, ask for it now, so that when lean times do come in your life, money is still flowing throughout your existence. So you're looking for prosperity and abundance throughout your life, health throughout your life. You're asking for when you already have it, ask for it. So it's already placed somewhere. It's placed somewhere in the foundation for you so that you can personally achieve that. All of us are either grounded or ungrounded. We switch back and forth from different avenues in our lives of being grounded, ungrounded, grounded, ungrounded. But ungrounded people get to see the whole picture. We get a panoramic view. And we're going to be ungrounded at times in our lives. So Spirit allows us to have a view of what they would like us to see. Grounded people like follow a path, and the hedge is about 15 foot tall. As you walk the path, you can see glimpses through the path, through the hedge, but you don't get this full view. But you can see glimpses of what Spirit wants you to see. But it's when you're ungrounded is when you see the whole pattern, the whole vibration that Spirit wants you to look at. Being grounded is okay as long as you have people in your life that are ungrounded. If everybody in your life is grounded, no one's going to get a clear view of the path ahead of you. No one's ever going to get the view. You have to have people around you in your vibration that they're ungrounded when you're grounded, and when you're ungrounded, they're grounded. So you each are feeding off each other, helping and encouraging others. That's why spiritualists met in circles. That's why we have circles. That's why we have groups. Not because we're feeding on each other and stuff. It's because we're adjusting the energy as where two or more are gathered, there I am. When I did a lecture many years ago, it was Ruiz with be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word to other people, but mostly impeccable with your word to yourself. What you're telling yourself, allowing yourself to understand that, because what you're telling yourself is what you believe in your being. You must change that voice. That's one of the tools you have to use. You have to change that voice. And some of us, the voice is very loud, very, very loud and continuous. And we have to keep saying our affirmations, keep saying these things in our vibration to quiet that voice. It might take years and some of us give up too quickly, too easily by quieting that voice if we just allow that voice. When I go to the store, I watch all these people just buying tons and tons of beer and liquor and all this other stuff just to deaden the sound of that voice, just to deaden it, just to quiet that voice. They're not really quiet, they're just putting it to sleep for a little while. But they aren't allowing themselves to work to change that voice consciously. And that's through the affirmations, that's through speaking to your guides, by telling your guides, no, you tell them, I don't accept this. This is not my life lesson. This is not my journey. And if it is, you need to show me why this is happening, why you are doing this at this point. Why is this happening? What journey do I need to take now? What path should I venture off on? We need to ask our guides when things are happening in our lives, not just to settle for it and just go down the hill. Why is this going on? Why is this happening? That's what we have to ask ourselves by allowing our guides to have that two-way communication with them, so we can understand when they try to tell us something. When they try to tell us something, we're actually got the information we need. And guides are not haphazardly here. I love it when people give readings. They go, oh my God, I got your mother here. She just flew in and she flew out. Why would your mother just fly in and fly out? Your mother came in for a reason. There's a reason why she came to this dark planet, came all the way through all that energy, all that vibration, came down to speak to you. There's a reason why she showed up. It's got to be a reason why she is here, a reason. Same thing with your guides. If there are certain guides in your vibration, they're there for a reason. They're not there because they're like, okay, we're just going to hang out. They're there in your vibration for a reason. At this point, at this aspect in your life, it's why they're there. Guides will change as you move through situations in your life because other guides have more expertise in what you're going through. So don't think like, oh God, the same guides. I had a lady that I had a conference with her. She was a client of mine for many, many, many years. Her name was Juanita. And all the years she came to me, she had this Dr. Peebles. Dr. Peebles. And Dr. Peebles disappeared one day. And she was a mess. She didn't know who to talk to, where to go, what to do, because Dr. Peebles was no longer here. Because she didn't need Dr. Peebles anymore, because she had moved to a different level. She wasn't concentrating on who the new guides were that were arriving. She was just concentrating on what had left. Dr. Peebles had left the show. Means that she had to look to new people arriving in the vibration. It took me a couple of months to get that through to her, to look for the new individuals. And when she eventually did, she saw her new guide standing there for her. New guide standing there in her auric field. But she had to focus in that direction. That is one of the tools we use to do this. When I was a kid, my mother used to set me looking at a candle, and I would have to focus on the candle and never look away and never let my mind wander. And that was an exercise I had to do every single day. I had to look at that candle, and if my mind wavered, I had to bring it back. I had to bring it back to the candle. So that was teaching me to focus my energy, focus the vibration of what I feel I needed to do. Then there was this whole thing of allowing a breath through my vibration, taught to me by my grandmother. Because if we breathe through our nose, hold it in our lungs, breathe out through our mouth, what's happening is we're not activating what we need to activate. When you breathe, like you're breathing through your nose, act as if you're breathing through your third eye. Like you see a rush of water rushing through your third eye down into your lungs. You see this flow of energy going through here, the third eye. What that does is it opens up the pineal and the hypothalamus. It opens up that clear seeing, that vision board, that clarity that you need. It clears the fog and allows you to see clearly. That's what it does. By allowing you to deep breathe 7 or 8 times, focus energy coming through your third eye, you allow that third eye to open. Sure, people do that. The third eye will start to hurt sometimes. It'll start to get this like, oh. But the third eye will stop hurting after you get the pineal open. It'll become sore to the touch. Your third eye will start to hurt a little bit, become sore to the touch. Don't give up. It'll pass, but it's just you opening the front gate. So it is. It's opening the front gate of this vibration by breathing through that. Sometimes we, as I said, sometimes we give up too early. We might be at the very next step. The very next step is going to open the whole vibration for us, and we've given up. And we almost have to go all the way back to the front of the line and wait for our next turn to do it again. If we just kept doing it, repetition. When I do seances, it's 8 weeks, sitting in the same chair, same space, same time. Meditation, same place, same hour, same day, same time, every day. And you meditate, you sit quietly, and you make that appointment with your guides and make that appointment with yourself. That appointment to get quiet just for a moment a day, to get yourself quiet to listen. Doesn't have to be for hours, but just that few moments to do that vibration. You can wear jewelry that has a high vibrational stone that you carry around. I have the Buddha Maitreya solar cross that I wear. It clears energy, it clears the vibration, it clears energy around me. If I feel, well, I need to wear it, I put it on. I wear the solar cross from the Buddha Maitreya. But you can find a crystal, something that you have a strong connection to, a strong feeling for. Make a necklace out of it. Put it on your neck. Put it in your pocket. Do something in that vibration. But allow yourself to, if you're going to do it, don't do 20, 30, 40 different stones. Do the one stone at any given moment that you need to use it. You might not might need hematite today. You might need some other fluorite next week. You might need something else the week after that. But what do you need at this point? Ask your guides, they'll show you. They'll propel that energy into your vibration to give you an idea of what you need. But it's this question of really understanding your heart desire on what you want to do in this lifetime. I've had too many mediums and people in my life that got stuck at a level. They didn't move forward, they didn't lose any ground, they just stayed there. Like they found a cave in the cliff, and that's where they stayed. They didn't climb any higher up the mountain, didn't go any higher. They stayed within that cave, within the mountain. We do that a lot with our higher consciousness, our tools we use for ascension. We get to a certain point, think like, oh, that's it. And we stay there. We set up camp. We don't move. We stay at that. When there's so much more to see, we have to allow ourselves to keep climbing the mountain. I've been doing meditations same time my whole life, since I've been like 5 years old. My meditation changed. I went to service and different things happened, but it was still precisely kind of the same time. So at the same time, I might not have been able to meditate as long when I was doing other things, but I would try to keep my appointment with my guides throughout my life. Try to keep my appointment with them. And if you haven't kept an appointment with guides throughout your life, you can start. Set your time. Because remember, as you set your time, they start to open doorways. They start to open doors. When I go into meditation, I'm always looking for that next door. That next door that they unlock, they click and allow me to walk through. They allow me to walk through that door, allow me to see something awesome that I haven't seen before. That is my whole vibration of doing mediumship. Sure, I give readings. Sure, I speak to people about deceased loved ones, people in the spirit world, where they should be, what should happen to them. But when I'm connecting to the spirit world, I'm allowing spirit to download into my being information, stuff from the spirit side of life, allowing myself to put that in my bank account, my vibration within myself, allowing me to use it at a later date if I need to, but it has been downloaded into my being. I'm always looking for those downloads throughout the spirit world. When I go speak to my guides outside those cities, when I have an out-of-body experience, they explain to me how the cities run, how things work. They take me to different places, especially when I do Lucerne. When I go out of body and I allow Lucerne to take over and speak through me, I am taken to places in the spirit world. It used to be Charles's library. Charles Davenport was one of my first trance guides when I was younger. And he used to take me to his guide, his protector, the woman, Mildred, would take me to his library and sit me in his library while he talked through me to a group of individuals. Now, Lucerne is different. Higher vibrational guide. He is set in emotion, but he takes me to different places in the spirit world. They'll take me to benches and I'll be sitting near a large lake, or I'll be sitting in a large space, or I'll be sitting in an office somewhere with some other guides. I'll be sitting somewhere in the spirit world because he has sent me there. I said this before in one of these classes. When I learn takes me, sometimes one of the best places he's ever takes me is I sit at a bench at the Crystal Sea. And at there, that vibration, the planets are all like extremely close. And I can reach out, and when I touch them, they make music. And by doing that in this space that I am with my guides, I'm allowed to make music, which I think is awesome. I think that is awesome. I like that space he takes me, but there are other spaces that are just as 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 connected to me to the higher sense of consciousness. There are places in the spirit world we only dream of ever knowing or only having some kind of connection to. But if we allow ourselves to go deeper into our meditations within ourselves, it's what we believe that we can attract is what we're going to see. If we don't believe that we deserve that, or we don't believe that we can attract that, we're not going to see it. I don't care how hard you want to try to see it. You have to believe that you can see that. When I was with Seth many, many years ago, uh, they said, well, you can't go talk to Seth. Seth only talks to Jane. Talks to Jane. Don't talk to no. You can't talk to Seth. Who are you? You can't talk to Seth. Well, I knew I could meditate strong enough. And if I put my intention on speaking to Seth, I could speak to him. And sure enough, I ended up at his cabin on the spirit side of life, on a lake, him sitting on a porch. And I sat with Seth for a while and spoke to Seth. But I believed that I could speak to him. I believed that I could speak to him because every guide is at your disposal. Every higher intelligence, every vibration, every guide is at your disposal. But you have to believe that you should be able to accept that they can arrive. If I don't believe that I can speak to Jesus, I don't believe that I can speak to Moses, if I don't believe I can speak to some of these people, probably not going to have a conversation. I have to have that belief within my system that I can speak to them. And that's through faith. When I teach mediumship, I want you to get rid of fear. Fear. Oh, they're going to cut my cord. Oh, they're going to keep me on the other side. Oh, I'm going to attract something negative. Oh, I'll get some. Really? No, you get rid of that fear of what you're going to attract. Because first of all, you're not going to attract anything in your life that isn't supposed to be there in the first place. Because it only arrives because of your energy field, your energy, your vibration, your energy connection. If your energy vibration is at this level, it's what you're going to connect. Move to a higher vibration, collect higher vibration. As you move higher, the higher vibrations will appear in the auric field. Spirit attracts to you in your auric field, attracts to you in your vibration, in your auric situation. It doesn't appear somewhere else. It appears there. That's where mediums see the spirits. They're in your auric field. They appear through that vibration. So when you're looking here, everything is within you. You are a universe upon yourself. You are your own universe within yourself. Everything that resides everywhere resides within you. And we are the divine. You have to have that on my Facebook page. You are divine. We're all divine. We all have that spark of God consciousness within us. We are born divine. We have to play the part, but we have to ask ourselves, what can I personally accept? That's the question with Ascension tools. Sure, Christopher Timms could teach you something. I could teach you something. Somebody else could teach you something. You're in another class and somebody else could teach you something. But does all this that you're being taught radiate to you? Does it feed you what you need in your life? A lot of the times classes will give you bits of information, bits that you can use for you. You keep the bits of information, the rest of it you let go. I learned that years ago when I was doing readings and connecting to a higher sensitive consciousness, doing readings. When I do your readings, I don't remember any of them. I don't store them. I don't hold on to them. I don't allow them to reside with my being because the reading was never meant for me. It was always meant for you, not me. Why would I store it somewhere on a shelf? It's not my situation. So I allow it to leave. Then I look at my life and I figure out things that have happened in my life. I allow them to leave. They don't serve me anymore. I do not want to be a servant to something, and I don't want to have something that doesn't serve me anymore. So I clean the shelves every month or so. I sit quietly and I ask myself, is there something I need to clear, something I need to get rid of, something I need to let go? Could you please show me? Usually when you ask that to your guides, these different ways of asking that, you open yourself up to the spirit world to clear, to redo, to reset, to show you what should be let go, what should be propelled in your vibration, what should be let go from your vibration. Sometimes we fight, we're stubborn, we don't want to let it go. We don't want to let it go. But If you marry somebody who loves to discharge stuff, you have to learn to let things go. I giggled the other day. I bought my wife a beautiful, nice little table for her office, had no little chairs. Oh, gorgeous table. So my wife decided she didn't care for doing it. Instead of asking me about it, she just put it out next to the street. Somebody picked it up and it's gone. I go, what happened to that table? She goes, oh, I gave it away. It's gone. Really? So sometimes people enter our lives and they clear things for us. We don't have to worry about clearing it because it's gone. It has disappeared. It's gone. Can't get it back. It has disappeared. And sometimes we have to understand that maybe for our own highest and best, it was let go. Instead of holding on to it and being so stubborn that we can't let it go, that we can't let that vibration go. We can't let a bad relationship go. We've got to tell everybody about the bad relationship. We can't let this go because, oh my God, everybody's got to know about that. I've got to show everybody how many pills I take. I got to let everybody know how sick I am. We allow ourselves to hold on to something and to address it with a loudspeaker every time we enter a room. Allowing it to go doesn't allows us to move forward from it. Move out of the cave and start climbing the mountain again. Climbing to higher ground. Climbing to a higher sense of consciousness. That is what we need to do in our lives. Always climbing, not stopping. Sure, stop to take refreshments, stop to take a breath if you need to, but keep climbing. Because you might not have found your little niche to the spirit world. Maybe that little connection to the spirit world hasn't quite arrived for you yet, but you could be quite close to allowing it to be part of your vibration. I learned that everybody that does mediumship have quirks. I rub my ear a little bit. I do this thing like Carol Burnett. When I do readings, I do this and I do this and I do this in my face. That's just to get myself out of the way. Some of us play music or we do music or different things to pull ourselves out of the way. We use tarot cards to take that part of our brain out of the way so that we can focus clearer and quicker. And what tools are used for are to allow you to pull that monkey brain out of the way. Keep it busy. Keep it busy while I'm off doing this. That's what tools do. They allow you to quiet that part of that vibration so that you can go out and do what you need to do. And whatever tools there are, whatever tools or vibration that you decide, I'm going to use that, then use that. But remember, the tools will take on their own life of energy. Own life of energy. I have some cards my grandmother used probably for 40 years of her life. Then my mother used them for quite a few years of her life. And now I have the cards. They're a plain deck of cards that have got sayings written all over them. But they were used by two major players in my life. Now I have the cards, and it has my mother's and my grandmother's energy on those cards. Those cards are part of the energy of them. So I keep the cards. I don't use them that often, but I keep them because I know that their energy is there. If I want to ask my grandmother or my mother a question, I will probably pull out those cards because I will get an answer from them because they used to use those cards. They used to converse or talk with those cards. So you might have something in your house that your grandfather or your mother had or your father had. Maybe your father had a ring that he left you, maybe a watch, or maybe a piece of jewelry your mother left you, or maybe a picture of your father you keep on a mantle. You meditate, pull the picture close to you and say, Dad, I'd like to speak to you. I'd like you to converse with me. You're allowing that energy or focusing that energy to that part of the spirit world. So allow yourself to truly understand that you are I don't want to say you're your worst enemy, but sometimes we are. We take on something that, my God, it wasn't exactly what we were supposed to do, but somebody told me I should do it that way. When I first came here, people would say, you need to read this way. Read this way. Don't go over there. Read this way. And I used to find me that used to scare me a little bit because when I was in the Christian religion with my father, there was a narrow way to the kingdom of God. You must believe this way or you aren't going anywhere. That told me like that scared me a little bit because there are many kingdoms, there are many ways to the spirit world, many roads are traveled to get to the spirit world. It's how we travel the road is what part of the spirit world that we venture out on when we arrive. It's where we venture out on. It's how we travel the road. What we believe is our life lesson, what we believe our consciousness is. If you believe that everything in your life is a life lesson and woe is you, then you're having problems because everything is not woe is you. What if that woe is you was never yours to begin with? You have to let it go. Maybe somebody taught you to connect to spirit. And you said, Lewis, I've got to do it this way. I can't connect any other way. This person said, I've got to do it this way. Then you need to walk away from that situation. You've got to walk away from that vibration because there is not just one way. Just look at healing. Look at healing, at how healing is done now. There are Reiki masters, there are Huna masters, there are prana healing masters, there are angel healers, there's mineral healers. Oh, my God, we can write a book on all the types of healing that there are. Same thing, there are all types of religions. There are all types. There's religions on every corner. But it's not the religion. It's not the type of healing. It's not the type of mediumship. It's not any of that. It's how you perceive it and how you move forward. If you believe that this is your religion, that religion will take you to where you need to be. Same thing as the healing, same thing the mediumship, same thing as where you place yourself. Everything will propel you in that direction. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Sure, we all have had things happen in our lives. We're not, I tell people, all of us are all dressed in white. We're all heading to the volcano. A lot of us are going to be pushed in the volcano. We're going to come out a little scorched, a little burnt. We're like, oh, that was awful. That was terrible. But doesn't mean that we have to go back up on the ramp and go back in the volcano again. We have to go back again. Once you take your first trip to the volcano, you're done with that. Let's move on. Let's move past it. Don't keep reliving something in your life. Don't keep reliving something terrible because that terrible situation was just a moment in your life. It was not to define your life. Remember that. A moment. Sometimes bad things happen, but doesn't mean they're still supposed to define us. They're sometimes to get our attention, sometimes to move us past something, to get us past something. When I was a kid, when I was a child, maybe I learned mediumship quite young in my life, but I had to spend a lot of my life hiding from the adults when I was a kid. I'd find a closet, the back part of a closet to hide in so they couldn't find me. So those are times when I would talk to my guides and be quiet. I'd be in the darkness. I'd be sitting there, not allowing the adults to hear me, allow myself to speak to my guides. And maybe that made my connection to spirit stronger. Maybe that's what did it. Maybe that's it. But I had to spend a lot of time saving myself when I was young, saving myself from the abuse and situation from adults. But it made me stronger because my guides had that strong communication with me. And sometimes we go through something in our lives. Our guides are walking with us. Sometimes they're carrying us. They're carrying us down the path. Sure, possibly we had to go through that situation, but doesn't mean we have to relive it every single week. We don't have to announce it with a bullhorn. Guess what happened to me? Guess what happened to me? Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's just constant reliving the situation in our lives. Sure, we have to deal with it. Sure, we have to look at it. Sure, we have to do a vibration with it. But then we need to let it be. Clear the shelves. Let it go. Or it will attract the same energy constantly within our lives. Same thing with mediumship. Same thing with connecting to that higher self, that consciousness within our lives. Allow yourself to move to whatever level of mediumship you are. Sure, I'm a spiritualist medium. We're mental mediums out here. We don't use tools. But if I leave this camp and I go somewhere else and somebody wants me to use some tools, I'll use them because I've used them in my life. I've used tools. I don't quite need them now, but the tools are mostly for the person getting the reading or the person receiving the reading, not for the medium. The medium already knows what the tools mean. The medium is just allowing you to participate in the vibration of the reading by using the tools. So it's what works for you. Maybe a pendulum, maybe something else, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. But what works for you? What connects to your higher sense of consciousness? What works for you? It could be a class I take. I teach. It could be somebody else's class. Somebody else. You might learn something online. You might have something online. I have over 100 videos on my channel. Maybe you'll look at one of those and go, "Oh my God, that's perfect for me." But you will learn something from everyone. Everyone is a teacher. No matter if they're a really bad medium or a bad teacher, you'll always learn something because you might learn just not what to do. I'm never going to do that. You'll learn what to do. When I first came out here, I knew some mediums here, but I knew that when I sat in the audience listening, that taught me that, ooh, I never want to do that. Ooh, ooh. And that taught me not to do it. So we're always learning. We're always moving, and you never stop learning. We never go hide in a cave. We never stop learning. We keep propelling ourselves forward. That's why the tools. That's why the Ascension tools, to have us ascend higher and higher on that ladder. Eventually, we'll be in the spirit world. We all have to eventually get to that spirit world. But where in the spirit world we want to reside is going to be up to us. So I hope this helped you today. I hope it connected to you and helped you today and allowed you to say, hey, that worked. But allow yourself to understand that everything in your vibration is